Now, it's never easy to tell someone that you don't like them. This could be someone you just met who is seriously crushing on you, but of course the love or feelings of affection is unrequited. Or it could be, someone who maybe you know from your past that has suddenly sprung up again in your life and is looking for affection from you, and you're trying to let them down gently. Or it could be that you're even in a relationship where you no longer feel the love, and you're thinking of different ways, easy ways maybe, to, just let them down gently, because at the end of the day, that's what you really want to do. In this video, we're going to be highlighting 3 things. The proper way to let her down gently. I'll give you alternative ways to break the news to her, and things never to do when you're breaking up with someone. This video is going to be comprehensive, and I know it's going to be worth your time. Keep watching. My name is Jessica. This is my YouTube channel, and you're most welcome. So, how to tell a girl you don't like her? That is the focus of today's video. Without much ado, let's jump right in. How to let her down gently. Now, I've got a couple of ideas. Find the right place and time. If you know you've made up your mind to let this girl go for whatever reason, maybe you've lost interest or you just simply do not feel the same way as she does, timing is everything. Location is everything. So these are 2 first things that you need to consider if you're going to do that. Do not be inconsiderate and say break up with her. Let's say if she was in the middle of an exam or she's going through some kind of personal challenge that you know is really weighing her down. That would be insensitive to add the weight of rejection onto something like that. Make sure you pick out the perfect place. And by that I'm saying don't do a breakup in public where you're literally shouting across the field, It's over! That's insensitive, okay? Pick a nice, quiet spot, a private place. And also think about a place where she can't, even though it may be private, will not be a place that she will most likely be able to create drama if she decides to do that, okay? So private in the sense that nobody's gonna really hear what's going on and you're not in people's faces, but public enough to make sure that she doesn't throw a fit or a tantrum or do anything that may make you feel uncomfortable. Number 2, maybe you can start by saying something nice without leading her on or giving her hope. So you could start by saying something like, hey, you know what, Jess, I feel like you're a really beautiful woman and I'm really flattered that you feel this way about me. Or, we've been dating for a while, but I realize that our goals in life are completely different. And as much as I admire where you want to go and what you want to do, I don't think it aligns with my own personal plans. And therefore, I'm hoping that by letting this go now, it'll be beneficial to both of us in the end. Right? So you're not making her feel bad. You're not making her feel as if she's a completely useless person. You're actually acknowledging the fact that you think that she's amazing, but you think that she'll do better with someone else and not you, because you have other things that you want to do. Okay. Now you may want to choose your words carefully in advance so you don't come off on the wrong foot. Because in trying to soften things up, you might also go a little overboard in terms of, the things you say, that she could misconstrue the true essence of what you're trying to deliver. A few things to take note of is as you deliver the message, try not to be too cozy with her. If you guys have like a habit of sitting too close together, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, maybe this time you want to sit across the table. Whatever you want to do, you want to make sure that your body language isn't giving off a different vibe as opposed to the message you're delivering. Number 3, just go ahead and break the news. Now, I know this is what a lot of guys shy away from. And indeed, too many of you walk away from women without letting them know that, look, this is actually over, either because you'd rather she take a hint and walk, or you're just not brave enough to break her heart. But the truth is, if you break her heart today, she'll hate you. But in a couple of years, when things are better for her with somebody else, she will thank you for it, and she'll look back and understand why you had to do what you did. And so just go ahead, break the news. Don't dilly-dally. Do not overly elaborate on things. Make her understand that things are not going to work. And in as much as you care about her and care about the person that she is, you think that you'll both do better apart. So for instance, in a case where maybe, you're not dating this girl, but she's been coming on to you for a while and you're trying to set the record straight, you could say something like, look, I know you have feelings for me, and I just wanted you to know that. And as much as I'm flattered, my heart and my head is somewhere else, and this cannot develop into something else or something more. And I wanted to break it to you before you heard it from someone else, because I respect you so much and I wouldn't want to see you hurt. If you put things in such a way like that, she will most likely understand and not flip and embarrass not just you, but everybody else around. I'd also say listen to what she has to say. If she's in that space where she's begging you and saying, look, I think that you're wrong, I think that we could have something together, you're going to have to stand firm. You're going to have to be firm in your decision. Never give her that mixed feeling like, oh, I'm reconsidering, or I'm backing down, or, okay, you know what, since you said it, I forget I ever said that. No. You want to make sure that the message is clear. Mixed signals, mixed messages will always put you in deeper trouble than you already were. Plus, it's more respectful that if you just broke up with someone, you actually don't just walk away and get the hell out of there as you'd like to do, and just, afford them a few more minutes to say what's on their mind. If you're lucky, she might say she has nothing to say and just let you go. And there you go, you'll be walking away guilt-free. Number 5, I would say, maybe you can offer her your friendship. But this is my least favorite tip because it's like blowing hot and cold air. When you break up with someone, I believe in cutting all communication, at least for a while, until everybody has a chance to figure out themselves, how they feel, work through their emotions and that kind of thing. I almost always feel as if when someone breaks up with you and offers you friendship, it's almost insulting, because you're telling me that I'm not good enough to be with you, but you think I'm good enough to be a friend? No, screw that. Keep your friendship to yourself, literally, right? So I think that you need to find a very natural way to make things evolve. When you offer friendship, she could take it the wrong way, for starters. 2, it could also be almost like a lifeline where, well, you've killed the relationship, but there's still a rope hanging that she can climb up to and probably try to still make it to your heart. It's confusing. If you ask me, I would say do not offer your friendship right away. You can offer it a couple of months down the line by telling her that you actually miss her company, miss the person that she is, and you're hoping that even though your relationship didn't work, friendship could be an option for you guys. So maybe you could say something like, look, I think you're a really cool person, and and as much as I'd like to offer you friendship, I understand if that's not something you can grant me right now, but just so you know, I'll always be there. Always end on good terms. So after you've broken the news to her and you guys have had a chance to work through your feelings, I think it's important that you end everything on a good note, where, for instance, if you picked her up from her home, to go to a nice place and break the news to her, you would take her back home, especially if she has no other means of getting there herself. Or maybe you could even pay for her transportation back home and not necessarily be the one to drive her. If she was with some friends or whatever when that was happening, walk her back to her group. But don't just sort of dump her in the middle of the street and walk away. That's cold, that's heartless. And if you're not careful and you meet a psycho, there could be a knife in your back at some point. Some women are weird like that. And lastly, I would say, give her space. Now, there are too many of you who would dump a girl and then suddenly act as if nothing happened, you're best friends all over again, and be all up in her face with another woman thinking that she'll be okay. Give her space, give her time. Drop off the radar. If you guys have mutual friends, stop engaging with the group, for a while, just so they understand, and let your mutual friends also understand what has happened between you guys so they can stop referencing you guys as a couple. Everybody needs that time away to heal and reassess and, just pick the pieces of what's left of your heart when that happens. And if you do it well and you do it right, she'll thank you for it eventually. Trust me. Now, real quick before I go, remember I talked about alternative ways to break it to her. For me, it's always best if you can do the face-to-face thing. For starters, it's sincere. People are able to see and feel your true emotions, as opposed to alternative ways like emailing, texting, and all these other ways that people may find easier. I'm reluctant to really elaborate on these alternative ways because I personally find them insensitive and maybe even to some extent inhumane. When you break up with someone over text, your message can easily come across as hostile and can be misconstrued, and you can hurt the person even more if you're not careful. And so for me, I'll always preach a face-to-face, in-person, sit down and, break up. There are others who leave people hanging and hope that they go away, get the message and go away. That's not the best way either. But these are alternative ways that people use. If you don't mind being callous and heartless, then by all means, go ahead, do your emailing, your texting, or maybe just ghost her. But this video is trying to get you to see reason as to why you should actually do this the proper way, so you can have that freedom to live your life to the fullest. And finally, before I go, these are things that you absolutely should not do when you want to break up with a woman. 1, don't tell other people before you tell her. If you care at all about the girl and her feelings, then you shouldn't go around telling your friends, her friends, or anyone you pass on the street that you don't return her feelings. Even if you really don't like her very much as a person, you should give her the respect she deserves by telling her the news yourself instead of letting her hear it from someone else. Number 2, don't tell her in public. And by this, I mean in places that she can easily be embarrassed. There's no need for that. Try and be as discreet and as honest and as straightforward as possible. That will get you further. Number 3, don't lead her on, as in leave her crumbs after you break her heart. Like, oh, there's always a possibility of us getting together. No, don't do any of that. If you're done, be done. Make a clean cut and get the hell out. Don't insult her or be aggressive when you reject her. There's absolutely no point. Rejection already hurts, and you don't want to add insult to injury. Don't drag it. There's absolutely no need. Be cut, honest, and just sincere with your feelings and how you communicate it. So yeah, that's it. I hope that this video was helpful. If it was, you know what to do. Smash the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. My name is Jessica. See you later.